All right. Hopefully this if I can see the comments, this would be great. Oh, I can see the comments. Sweet on Facebook. So I'm gonna take this window over here. Awesome. All right, great. So today I want to come on and kind of like give some observations over the weekend. Took my youngest daughter, I'm sorry, my oldest daughter Gabrielle, shopping. We went to the mall, Greenwood Mall, um, and my first time down there. So it's on the south side of Indianapolis, pretty big mall. And man, it was packed. And just being inside of some of the stores, they were talking about how this was like almost more uh, packed or busier than Christmas season. And when I really realized what it was, because the stimulus checks came, that kind of made a lot of sense. So shout out to you if you had a stimulus check. Just interested in the comments. I want you to kind of put in there what do you plan on doing with your stimulus check? What have you done with your stimulus check? Because it's interesting, all year long, people talk about success and people talk about, opportunities that if they had a chance, they would do different things, but then they get an opportunity via the stimulus check and they go out and spend all of their money. And hopefully that's not you. And it's interesting because I looked online and some places like reputable sources for some other magazines, and what they were talking about with the stimulus checks were like to obviously first, right, pay down any debt that you have, pay down any high interest credit cards, emergency fund. But then it went into like giving out donations. It went into like remodeling your rooms, remodeling your backyard. And I'm like, this is crazy that they trying to get you to spend all your money because if you spend all your money, you don't have any leverage for you to make more money. So I think one of the best things you can invest in, because I get asked all the time, like, where should I put money at? And it's no matter how much money you have, if it's millions of dollars, thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, your number one investment you can make is always going to be in yourself. In yourself, learning, growing, reading, researching, podcasts, whatever, however it is that you learn, that's your number one investment because as you become more valuable through accumulation of knowledge and you're able to add more value, you can then add, you know, more money. And then it's not about those one time money. It's about like if you're able to add a consistent 5, 10,000, 20, six figures a year through that accumulation of knowledge, that's when you really start becoming successful. That's when you really start, I'm getting over the hump. So I just want to kind of explain some things for you all right quick. And some of you saw this before, some of you have not. So I'm gonna switch over here. So how many people have like went into like Robert Kiyosaki and some of the stuff that he got going on? I was a big Robert Kiyosaki fan. And this was one of his first things, right? Was this whole cash flow quadrant where these were employees, these were self-employed, these were business owners, and these were actually investors, right? So as an employee, if you're in this section right here and you're an employee, right, that's cool. But guess what? You have a job. You have a job. And that's good because some of us don't actually have jobs. So it's great to be employed, but not only do you have a job, so someone else is like controlling your future, but also you pay the most in taxes as actually just a employee. The second is you're self-employed, and some people think they are business owners, but they're not. You're self-employed, and in this self-employed, you own a job, right? So right here, you're self-employed and you own a job. So this is self-employed, which is cool. And in order for you to move from being self-employed to right column, where you have the best tax strategies, the best tax benefits, the best ability to scale and grow, right? And this B is the business owner. You have to be able to put systems in place. You have to be able to be organized. You have to be able to communicate effectively and have everyone on the same page. So as a business owner, you own a system. And this is by far, if you look at like really wealthy people, if you look at really successful people, they got their majority of them, 80%, because they're business owners. And a lot of us want to be entrepreneurs, want to be business owners, and maybe we don't know how to get that done. And I think my passion is to educate, is to help people get that done. I've been involved in business for a number of years. I've had ups, I have downs, but I learned a tremendous amount of knowledge, going through the process. and now I want to give back and I want to teach that knowledge. The last one is an investor, and this is when money works for you, and this is ideally um, works for you. This is the best part, right? Um, I like I like my money pregnant because when your money is pregnant, what do pregnant people do? They have babies. So when you have pregnant money, your money has babies, and your money goes to work for you. So when you're looking at your cash flow and you're looking at your stimulus check, like yeah, pay off debt, do all those things. But again, I would suggest that you really invest in your education, invest in your ability to learn, ability to add value, because that's what's going to give you the highest yield, like over time. Um, I saw another study, and this is something that I kind of want to also communicate with. So many people have learned throughout their life that you have to work hard. You have to work hard, work hard, work hard. And this is like a bunch of speakers grind, grind. I'm gonna outwork you, grind, 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 and that's sweet. Like it's like a pre not a prerequisite, but that's a given. Like in order for you to be successful, some sort of hard work needs to be done. But I'm gonna like tell you and teach you that hard work is not the only thing that you need. It's not because if the hard workers if you just had to work hard, construction workers will make the most money. They work hard. Like I was in the restaurant industry for a number of years. The cooks, the servers, the managers, 60, 70, 80 hour weeks. That's hard work. But guess what? Hard work isn't all that it takes in order for you to be successful. It takes hard work, but it also takes more. And it's interesting because I've always had a hard time um, articulating what else that it takes. But then I read and I took this personality test, which is a little bit more accurate than Myers Briggs and some other personality tests that kind of give you a better understanding of who you are and your makeup. It's called the Hexaco personality test, HEAXCO. So the H stands for honesty, the E is emotionality, extraversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, open to experience. So this is the kicker, right? So on the one, conscientiousness, scientists believe, is the reason why folks are actually successful. And conscientiousness is broken down, right, into four things in order for it to be successful. So the first thing is like what we all typically know and what we all typically go to, right? And the first thing in order for you to be successful is diligence. So diligence is, known as hard work. We know a lot of people that work extremely hard, but they're not always the most successful people, right? So that's cool. So what else do you need? You need organization, and organization is so key because you have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy. So many of us wake up every single day without a strategy, and it's crazy to me. Like how don't you have a strategy? And for me, it's just like I have this thing where like I don't start my day until I finish it. It starts the night before, me getting prepped, me getting ready. Sunday night is a night where I prime my entire week. But it's just like how do you become better organized? And not only in your personal life, uh, but your business life, your fitness, your relationships, like everything. So what I want to do is like it's the end of the quarter. First quarter is finishing up. So I'm hosting on this Wednesday a workshop, quarterly planning workshop. Is going to be March 24th at 7 p.m. It's gonna be $55, right? That's the investment, and I'm gonna show you like how I break down my day, how I set up my quarter in order for me to be successful. Because what I typically do is I, set up my goals for the year, and then each quarter I break it down. Then I could be successful in obtaining my goals for the year. But you have to have that mindset of like what your plan is, maybe 5 years from now, then your 1 year goals, and then working these 90-day sprints where you're really good at achieving what needs to be done. And then every day you go down to from 90 days to 30 days, month, what you're focusing on, to 7 days, what you're focusing on for the week, and then that day-to-day activity. So that's the next thing that what it takes to be successful. And if you're interested, I would love to have you at the workshop. I think there's going to be a link in the bio. I'm going to provide that for you so you can sign up. It's going to be this Wednesday. But the third thing you need is to be professionalism. Perfectionism. Perfectionism. So professionalism is like you being able to do that same task over and over again at a high level of success. So another word for that is like mastery. Like how do you create mastery? how are you so good that when someone thinks about an industry, they think about like a niche, what you're known for, that your name comes top of mind. And if you could create that level of interest, that level of hype, then guess what? You can charge pretty much whatever it is that you want because you created mastery, you created value, and people are going to recognize you for that. And the last thing that determines whether or not you're going to be successful is this thing called prudence. And prudence is like your ability to make wise decisions. And how do you make wise decisions, right? You make wise decisions by being able to really factor in and calculate what's the cost, what's the benefit. You're operating from principles, and you making wise decisions. And I think when you look at it all in terms of like wrapping it all up together about you wanting more for your life, you want to become, more financially free, right? Because for me, I look at cash as a vehicle to gain freedom. I want to buy my time back because with my time, I'm going to do what makes me happy. So if you're in this situation, these four things: diligence, organization, professionalism, and prudence is extremely important. And hard work is great. But I'm telling you, there's going to be somebody that's going to work harder than you. So you have to start organizing your life. You have to start being in better shape mentally, physically. You have to take things seriously. If a job is worth doing, it's worth doing well. Then you have to be able to make really solid decisions, and those decisions should be based on principles. And I'm excited because, like I said, this coming Wednesday, I'm going to be going live a master class workshop, 7 p.m., 2 hours. But I'm going to stay and answer all the questions that you have. This is something that I want to start doing more consistently and really just sharing and pouring into people because I've learned a lot of game. And unfortunately, I was in a situation where I learned the hard way. And now that I've learned it, though, like I could never unlearn it. And I want to continue to share these things with you. And I think it's extremely, extremely important that we all get really hip on what we want out of our life. Lastly, I'm going to add you this, right? So inside of the workshop, in addition to being there, you also get something that we just created, and it's a digital planner where we kind of teach you some of the lessons that I learned throughout my life. How do I become a champion? And these 7 pillars, right? And the pillars that I look at them is self-development, career, fitness and health. We're going to talk about intimate relationships, social relationships, finances, and spirituality. And all these things make up like your spear. And then in here, you rank where exactly you are. And the goal, if you rank right here as a 3 because your self development, because you don't read, then you're going to have to put together a plan in order for you to get to a 7, 8, 9, right? And that's the strategy. And so many of us, when I talk about organization, we don't organize. So we have to do a better job of organizing ourselves because that's going to be important of us staying on track, having something that we can measure because it's something that we've written down and we're tracking. I'm going to leave you with this, and this is something that I've learned, and it's extremely powerful, is that in life, only 4% of people, 4%, like actually write down their plans. 4%. And if you look at the number of people that are financially free or rich, it's 5%, right? So it's like it's no wonder why that's a very closely related number. So people that are playing, people that are intentional, are those that are probably more successful. And it's this whole notion of getting things out of your head so they won't forget, having metrics, targets that they're laser focused on, and that's how people like sustain success. That's how they get there. That consistency because they're tracking it. And I want you to be one of those people. And if you're want to be one of those people and you want to learn a little bit more, obviously follow me at GaryBrackett.com. Our sign up this Wednesday to a workshop. We're working on our store, so you can buy the planners outright on the website. Probably at the end of this week, we had some glitches we're working through, but it's all good. But man, I'm excited to share with you this Wednesday. I'm excited. I'm fired up. I'm going over all the pre-planning stuff now. And again, as always, share this message with someone that you think it can help. Like and subscribe to this page, and also just let me know in the questions in the comments below, like what other topics are you struggling on? If you're a business owner, if you're somebody that want to get better, if someone that wants to live what I call this championship lifestyle, where you kind of live in life in your terms, I love to be able to be of service to you. So put them in the chat below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. All right. So that's it for today, and I'll probably come on tomorrow if someone gives me a good question I'll come on tomorrow and answer it and go live. All right, y'all. Y'all take care, man. Like I always say, I hope we all make it. Y'all take care.